Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Salutations and blessings to the elect. Um, and this is just I don't know what I can call it, but probably some advice, some suggestions, whatever, some advice or suggestions to some young brother that's just coming into this faith, it's like, and you might be ready to stand on the outside. Um, you probably want to go to a camp and stand up and join a camp. You know what I'm saying? Probably want to get in with a camp. Particularly, I'm talking about the Brothers of Great Millstone. But here's some advice I want to give you, because I'm not in a camp. I'm not in Great Millstone. I'm not in any camp. You know, what they would call me, what they would say is a lone ranger or whatever, a solo, what they call that, individual light and all this and that, the third. And I pretty much heard it all. But but what I wanted to tell young brothers that's probably want to stand on the outside. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you how to operate or give you advice how to operate in a camp, because I've never been in a camp. But what I can tell you, if you're standing on the outside, be there every Saturday, be diligent. And what I mean is, I'm telling you from my mistakes, because I didn't do the things that I should have done in order to be in a camp, to be in the Brothers of Great Millstone. And I had an opportunity. It's not like I didn't have an opportunity. What had happened is I didn't take that full advantage of that opportunity that was presented at me. And I don't think it's a death sentence if you don't do it, but I wouldn't recommend you. You might see some brothers out there on the highways by themselves, and you might think, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Don't you do that. Don't you do that to yourself, brother. Don't you do that. I would advise you to stick with the brothers, whatever camp, particularly I would say Brothers of Great Millstone. But anyway, but if there's a camp, you go in there every week. I suggest you to be there every week with some with a pen and pad and a Bible, and taking notes, and be there and show the brothers that you truly wants to be in the camp. And I mean, not only showing them, but you got to do this for your Yahweh Shah first and foremost, that you want to be part of a camp that's going to strengthen your understanding, bring you further along in this truth. And, brothers can groom you, cultivate you, put you in a position where you can thrive in this truth. And why I say that, because I am an example of someone that did not take that path, right? I didn't go on to be that guy on the other side of that was later brought in, because I didn't stay. I wasn't consistent at coming to the camps. And what happened was, I started watching the brothers, coming to the camp in 2019, and it wasn't consistent. So then all of a sudden, 2020 came. We had this what they call it, what they would call pandemonic shit, So that came along, and I started doing my own thing, thinking, okay, I know some scriptures. I'll go out there and I'll just preach what I know. It was fine and dandy in the beginning, but longer as you go along in this thing, there's going to be a lot of more things you're going to need to know. You're going to have a very strong, disciplined mindset. You're going to have to be you're going to have to study your ass off, because if you're not with a brother to help you understand these scriptures, or y'all going over these things together, like it says, iron sharpeneth iron, you're gonna you basically, you might be operating with a dull sword, and it's going to make your job a lot fucking harder. And what I mean is, you're going to have to do this see, because if you miss the boat, which I would say I missed the boat, you're going to have to swim or drown now, right? So now because once you put your hand on the plow, you got to continue to do the work, whether you by yourself or with a camp or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? So once you put your hand to the plow, regardless if you by yourself or you with a camp, you're going to have to continue to do the work. And I suggest you do this while you on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? Be diligent, watch, take notes, do what you got to do to get into camp. Because I'm gonna tell you right fucking now, it's not easy being by yourself. Now I'm an older guy. You know, when I came in this truth, I was in my 40s, and I should have known better. But I let other things get in the way. I didn't. I'm not gonna say I didn't take this probably serious. I should have. And then when it really hit me, it was too late because I wasn't consistent. I didn't come in right like I was supposed to. I wasn't consistent coming to the camps. And, like it says, this thing moves on. It moves very fast. It's like water, and it's not going to wait for no one. It's not stagnant. So if you stagnant and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and the brothers, the brothers that's in the camp, they see that. They watching you. They said, okay, you got a brother on the other side. He's coming here and there. But once they see some inconsistencies, whatever the case may be, then the antennas rails up and okay, what's going on? I know he's still young. He's going to be some problems, but you can't, miss it. And when the brothers, don't bring you in when you want to come in or whatever case, that wasn't the case. I'm just saying, speaking in general. But then when you think, when the brothers, kind of, let you be, and then you're gonna see. Let me tell you, what's gonna be the hardest part about this is seeing the brothers on the Sabbath, seeing them doing seeing the brothers all out there doing the work together, and seeing the brother on the high holy days when they do the videos, things of that nature. You see all the brothers together, fellowshipping together. That's one of the hardest things that you can ever want to see. You don't want to see that, man. And you be alone in your own house doing the work, doing your own thing, and these brothers all gathered together, and you can see the camaraderie, the love, the all of that, man. That's something you don't want to miss out on, man. I'm telling this to younger brothers that's coming in this truth. You don't want to be by yourself in this truth, man. And that's a lesson I'm giving. That's something I'm telling you from my experience, man. You go out there and you do that, you setting yourself up for some very hard times, man. And you're gonna pray your ass off that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is with you when you by yourself, because it's better to have two than being by yourself, man. Because like the scripture says, it's better to have two than one, because who's gonna protect you? If you fall, who's gonna pick you up if you fall? Someone, I'm roughly paraphrasing, and that and the third. So that's a heavy burden to carry for yourself, man. You don't want to do that. And I'm telling you, every day I walk in this truth. That's one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in this truth, and I regret it, dearly, man. So, but to this point, hey, it is what it is for me now. I got to deal with the situation that's involving me. I don't know if this is well, it is, because the Lord, He controls your steps. Then you're gonna have a lot of things, because the more you learn, the more you study, and the more you get involved with this truth, this ministry, you're gonna have, you're gonna start doubting yourself. Am I the man of the Lord? Am I, is the Lord rejecting me? Am I not worthy enough to be in the congregation of the men that taught me this truth? If the Lord doesn't see me fit, what did I do? You start examining yourself. Sometimes you overdo it, and sometimes you kind of, you figure you want to just stop to see if the spirit is still with you. You probably want to, let me just stop. Maybe I'm not supposed to do this, and you stop. But that spirit, if I'm just speaking for myself. These are the things I went through. I stopped because I'm thinking I'm not the man, because I'm thinking I was rejected. Maybe I shouldn't be doing it. Maybe the Lord trying to tell me something. Maybe the spirit is telling me maybe I wasn't supposed to do this. But like I say, when I stopped doing it, it was just like a burning feeling in me, man. I couldn't sleep right. I wake up and I'm like, I gotta go, I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if I'm by myself or not, I gotta do this work. I've set myself up in this bed. I made my bed, so I gotta lie in it. And that's the way it is, man. And I advise you, brothers, if you sincerely want to get in a camp, don't fuck around, man. Just get in that camp. Come every week. Do what the brothers ask you to do. Study. Be diligent. Be and be a brotherly. Don't come with no nigger attitude. Don't acting a fool. Be serious, man. Be serious. Be truth. Be humble. Don't think you know everything because you learned a few scriptures. Nah, I wasn't that way. I always, I ain't gonna say always. I feel, I don't know, because you see, those are the things you don't know, because you ain't got no teacher over you and shit like that, and so you left it to yourself, man. So I'm telling you right now, man. I pray every day. I lost a lot of weight from fasting, praying, and things of that nature, because I had a lot of, I was having some, not doubts about the truth. I was just having doubts about myself, man. I was, hey, maybe I'm not a man of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm saying this, man, from the bottom, from a humble and from a sincere standpoint, man. I'm not trying to get no brownie points. I never did, and I hopefully I never will go to that route. But what I'm telling you, brothers, is this thing is very, very crucial, and it's very hard to do it by yourself. It's hard enough to do it with a group of men, much, much more by yourself, man. So it's only wise, and I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you from my mistakes, I promise you, you do not want to do this by yourself. And especially if you seriously want to do the work for the Lord, it's best to do it with men that was in this thing before you, and follow their steps, and be humble and sincere. And if you seriously want to come in that group, you be there every week on time. If you can get there before the brothers, that'd be great. But be there every week regardless, man, if the brothers are going to be there. And keep in touch with the brothers, man. Don't be that guy, and I'm speaking, don't be like me, you know what I'm saying? Don't do what I did. Don't miss that boat, because this swim is a motherfucking swim, man. Because you're gonna either have to swim or drown. And trust me, sometimes it feels better. Sometimes it seems like it'd be easier if you could just drown, man. Sometimes you feel like, just let me drown so I can get it over with. But sometimes the Lord put the spirit on you, can't help but swim, because you want to please the Lord, you want to do the work because you signed up. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be a lone, what they call lone wolf, individual, like they call us, whatever the names and terminologies that they put on us, the ones that do it by ourselves, you don't want to go through that, brother. I'm telling you that now. The brother's not gonna know who you are, especially if you, you know what I'm saying, if you're not with the body of them brothers, man. So, and I'm speaking mainly of brothers that's on the outside looking to come in for Great Millstone, man. Just stick in there, come every week, and be diligent. And if it's any occasion that pops up where you can't make it to the camp, just put it in the comment board so one of them brothers thing, and explain your situation, and tell them that, hey, something came up. Don't lie about it. Be sincere. If it's something come up, things do come up. But those are the things you're going to be working out on your end while getting yourself together to get into camp. You got to have to figure out ways to get that one day free so you can be with the brothers on a weekly basis, man. And that's all I wanted to say, man. I ain't, just giving some, sound advice for young brothers, man, particularly brothers that's trying to get in with Great Millstone. Stand on that sideline regardless of how long it take, a year, whatever. You're going to stay out there, man, and do what they tell you to do, man. Don't be that guy that, that missed that boat, because it's a hell of a swim, brother. And it's nothing more, I can tell you this right now. Any man with his right mind, you don't want to swim in a big ass ocean with no protection. You rather be in a fucking boat, okay? And that boat, and I'm talking about, that's the shield of the brothers and the power of the brothers. The Great Millstone. It's like a shield of protection. You got a whole body just protecting you. You in a whole body. You don't want to be by yourself, brothers. Please, I guarantee you that. So that's just there's some advice I want to give to some brothers out there that probably looking to come into this thing. Don't mess up, man. Don't do that. Please don't do that. I wouldn't wish that on any young brother, any proselyte that's young brother that's coming in that wants to learn. Don't do that to yourself, man. I'm telling you, don't do that to yourself. It's a hard time, and a lot of guys, that can break your spirit, man. I'm gonna tell you, that can really break your spirit, because it's a heavy road, man. So, I'm talking to the brothers that's true and sincere that want to get in. That's all. That's just a service announcement or whatever you want to call it. But that's it. Shalom.